And yeah, we should be live. Double checking everything is working. Checking the audios as well, coming in correctly. Double check game audio for a second. There we go, that all works. So yeah, I'm going to jump back in a little bit. And I'm starting a little bit later for the people that will join trickle in and maybe watch the VODs. And one of the reasons that I am a little bit later is that I've been messing about with a little thing to add to onto the streams, as I was discussing it a little bit with one of my buddies quite recently. That is a variety streamer. Well, he's someone I know. We're acquaintances. We have discussed some stuff. I have helped him on technical ends. And yeah, one of the recommendations he had for me really was something that I hadn't considered, but is very much something that I know that I quite enjoy. So without further ado, and I'm somewhat dreading it, and on a technical end, it may fail several times during this stream, because the setup as I have it now is, the term for it would be jury-rigged. It's hanging together by threads and broken ways, and also it's not how I really would want it, but I'm just going to try it out. And yeah, without further ado, hi, I'm IKEA. I wonder if I match expectations, or what people assumed of me, or anything. As I of course know as well that people, I have that myself as well, is you have an expectation hearing a voice, and you build a picture in your head, and yeah, that may not always match reality. So hi, nice to meet you. So yeah, my setup as I have it now is very much not the way I intend to have it forever. This is very much jury-rigged and just a tryout. And yeah, I strongly feel that a face is handy to have, and if I think about the streamers that I enjoy, they very much have a face. So I should do what I would want others to show. So I'm going to add my face in. And yeah, the system as it is now, it's very jury-rigged. It is a camera that is not intended for being a webcam. It is a capture card that is not intended to capture a camera. It is a light that is basically just my phone in a cup, weighted down so it doesn't tip over. And I'm going to try that out for a little bit and see if what people's reaction is. So now what I'm going to start off with, just farming wise, is I still have 10 floors of summit to do on this character for their exotic cash project. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna start off solo, just make a little bit of an attempt. I'm also looking quite often over to just make sure that the latencies and such, as that's actually one of the reasons I started a little bit later, is I was messing about with that, trying to get it working, together with the software that is cutting me out, and because I'm not in front of a green screen, and that's also why it looks so janky as it does. The difficulty suddenly dropped to normal for some reason. That sometimes happens when you leave groups that aren't yours. And I'm going to keep it at those 4 directors, because likely I'll just turn on matchmaking at some point. and open the group up and try to get a few people to join me, although we're starting off strong right away with rogue agents detected. So yeah. Hey to you as well, Snakes. Yeah, I thought I would act as the real streamer and show my face. I'm not opposed to talking and showing my face, really. I hadn't even actually considered it till it came up in conversation. I'm going to swap to PFE because I'm not stacked on the tech tank I was on, so might as well be PFE, because usually the only reason I don't swap over is that I want to keep my stacks. But this is also just heroic solo two rogues. The only thing I'm going to be aware of is just going to give them a little bit of a... I'm going to tap them a little bit, but also I'm going to be ready to jump out of the way in case a sniper turret goes down, so... Yeah, just bye.
Rogue agent eliminated.
It's annoying that the named, so the last rogue in a rogue encounter that you kill is guaranteed to drop a named, but that named is not going to be from targeted, so it's just full random as to what you get. I would love for that one to be changed to be to consider targeted. Going to swap back to the high-end tech tank on this character. I haven't even gone out of my way to grab... so normally I also have a graded 20 Mark 16 that I haven't grabbed. So I could have gone grabbed it, but... And that would add about 10% extra damage output. It's hack the terminals. Yeah, I was very much messing with trying to get the system all work together, as it's not as easy as I would have hoped initially. Although I would have expected it to be a mess, because I'm in no part of it is just... I could have gone easy and just bought a webcam, but I wanted to use cameras that I have available to me anyway. So with a capture card capturing it and such, which with the lighting as it isn't doing me any real justice, because I already noticed that now that the sun is setting, the light that I'm using is going to make me look very blue, but I'm fine with it. Something ran away. There we go. Also, at some point, I might actually take a second and just change the white balance settings and just give myself a sunny look that way. Because I now consider that so it's a actual DSLR that is capturing me, and I'm very much not a videographer. I'm very much a photographer, and that camera is never set to anything except out of white balance, because I never care. That's post-processing. That's not something that I care what it comes out as in the camera.
Terminal and hostile control. Terminal destroyed.
So yeah, the two terminals were nice and in the middle, so they didn't take long to kill. And yeah, to give away also a little bit more of the behind the scene, when I'm looking this way, that is my screen where the game is on, and then when I'm looking to the right, that is OBS and all of my other screens, the Twitch screen, the Discord. So when I'm looking over there, that's that happening. And I thought I would put you guys in the middle, in between the two. I'm also curious to see how long this battery will actually hold out. I've not used this camera for this specific purpose on battery ever. So,
Hostile striker drone.
but I have several other ones if it does run out very quickly. Yeah, so the search for our friends of Usina Gerika Clove. That was nice of the game to let me open the door and instantly punish me. And these drones are actually useful here because they'll help me just get some stacks of the memento. They're not hard to kill. The tech tank can, well, any build with a memento can easily deal with them, so. Because yeah, they're very much chip damage. They're not like hard hitting. They just chew away at you. And just that 3% regen, me being able to run in like that and grab some bonus armor, that's just gonna negate all that. The only dangerous ones are the explosive ones. And there we go. I'm gonna actually put both sides on. So yeah, we're heading in. I'm gonna actually start setting my group to open at this point. The reason I'm setting my group to open is that I want people to join me. That's how that happens. So if I matchmake, it might try to put me with someone else. But if I set my group to open, people will join on me and we'll be with these 4 directives. I mostly just don't want to deal with people that turn on all directives, that people that... and once it's 2 of us, I will actually turn on matchmaking, and that's just to... that looks better for others joining us. I'm seeing that the lighting very much is going towards being way too blue. As the sun where I am is falling away. Could have given them a second to catch up and inspect them. A negotiator with the Diamondback. Not a common build to see. And one that actually does work well, but yeah, it's more of a hassle than it's worth, usually. I'll wait for him to be here as well.
I'm reloading.
Yeah, just gonna push in and... It's surprising that 1 person joined and not more right away, because yeah, usually just once one person joins you, it's many that join you. Let me just briefly reload chat. For some reason, I do not understand why in the stream manager, usually sometimes the questions do not pop up. I do see them in my OBS chat window, but that one is quite tiny as it's on a 4K screen. The other one is in a browser and I can easily resize. Yes, the 87 is... I was considering making a different account because that's an account that I've just... Actually, Twitch shows when the account was made somewhere when you're inspecting people. But yeah, that's my long-time account and just the one that I've always had, as without a number behind it was already taken. And yeah, the 87 is my birth year.
High-risk target detected.
back in my day, it was quite common to use bird tier, as much as, especially a generation that was starting to become young adults in the 2000s, very much had a habit of putting
An agent needs assistance.
just the year that it currently was, so you would have something 2012 or something. That's, many people still have their YouTube names or account names on places like that. But luckily, in my generation was a little bit more common to just use the bird here. At least that one is consistent. But yeah, it does give away the age. I'm just gonna fall back. There's no reason for me to stay in there. And slowly work on these enemies. And I was afraid of getting way too surrounded, because yeah, it's also stuff like that. And the owner was still alive there, and those hurt. Those hurt very much. So we already also got the key, so don't have to even keep an eye on that. Yeah, and indeed for negotiators with Diamondback is actually, yeah, for Boomer is a common strategy. It is actually a good way of getting around some of the immune things in the game. Just gonna briefly look over there and see if if me doing any of this kind of things changes anything. Not by much. I mean, it does, but not in the way I was hoping. In a second, I might actually take a second and, while we're in the elevator here, fiddle with adding a filter in, color keying here. Or well, actually, color correction would be better. Color correction, which is that one. Yeah, I should just, when I get a second, actually just alter the white balance on the camera. That is, that's going to give the best results. Because I think it might just be set to a hard number, as yeah, normally I shoot raw and doesn't matter. I'm also briefly going to check if that audio crackle is from me or if it's from one of my allies. As yeah, I've added an audio source as well, of course, which I consider now that I likely haven't muted, so hopefully that's not coming through in some way. Oh, okay, no, luckily that's one of my allies. I now see that their mic is triggering, and I'll mute that because I find it annoying, and I'm gonna guess so do others. And yeah, open mics are surprising to see from time to time. Someone received a St. Elmo. As actually, I'm covering that up a little bit on the chat side, but you can see the engine at the end of it. See if I can kill that dog before it leaves, but couldn't.
Over there, you see him?
With big groups like that, I usually try to see if I can sneak in some sort of shot onto a weak point. But I didn't. I hear a heavy in the background. It's over there. Just gonna make sure nothing spawns behind us, because this room has a tendency of doing that. So this heavy, the backpack goes away, but actually likely before he takes off his helmet. Actually, no, he does the animation where he takes off his helmet, and he's an easy kill. But usually also we can, if we all focus him down on the chest while he's doing that animation, we can kill him before he actually reaches that point. Should remember in a second to actually check my what my challenges, my summit challenges are set to. Yeah, I'm just fidgeting towards, looking towards the back, as yeah, quite often spawn there. And if they do, I want to catch them as quickly as I can. And check for loot as well. That player is in quite the hurry.
Detected nearby.
So we have another negotiator and this fury. He aggroed them, but they still come for me. It's nice of the game. So we have several... Actually, I'm going to assume that my allies will get this first one. I'm going to already start moving towards the second one. Killing along the way a little bit.
System malfunction.
And over here there's a jammer, so I need to not overextend. If I push in right into
System curtailed.
into some enemies without my shield, I'm a lot weaker.
System reactivated.
I'm gonna move on over.
Disrupted.
Hit this. I can likely hide around here for long enough to barely survived before the armor break hit. I was quite lucky actually that that I didn't get surrounded there. My pulse isn't triggering. I'm gonna re-aim. So sometimes spotter is a little bit messy and doesn't trigger right away. You'll be aiming at the enemy. Nobody got the very first one, the one that I assumed my allies would get because all of them ran past it, of course.
Malfunctioning.
So that's a little frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll go for it.
System reactivated.
Luckily, at this part, I'm far enough away that the jammer will actually not reach me. And having played the Heartbreaker tech tank for quite a bit this afternoon with farming West Potomac, this one feels significantly weaker. It's
System curtailed.
it doesn't have to stack, and it gets to have a Scorpio. That's really its only real benefits.
System back online.
But those don't make up for, I feel, at least for its deficiencies. Because yeah, I don't mind stacking, especially with the tech tank. It can go close range if it needs to.
Rogue striker.
Just gonna check how many. Oh yeah, first what my challenges are.
Striker drone
If
detected.
there are something active, which there should be, and there is. And then I'm gonna check how many floors we have left. Okay, so 6 more floors. I'll do those floors with these people, and then I'll briefly take a few minutes to, yeah, alter me being a blue face.
DMP jammer detected nearby. System malfunctioning.
I'm gonna push in and kill the jammer,
System
pick up the memento stack from it, and use that to just tank stuff. I'm gonna kill that purple one first, and then this guy. And yeah, shields, tech tank shields are very effective as long as all of the, or most of the drones are coming from one side. Because yeah, these guys don't do a lot of damage, they just do consistent amount of just small damage. And the only things that somewhat scare me are the explosives ones. Because yeah, they will kill my shield if they get too close. Trying to see where that ally had gone down and why he wasn't being gotten, but couldn't see it. Yeah. I saw somebody come online that I haven't seen for a while. It's also funny to now have be cognizant that my facial I'm usually quite animated and that can be yeah. But honestly, I'm quite enjoying my streaming journey here.
system curtailed. System reactivated.
The disruption
It's needed.
took away my shield right at the wrong moment. Also, I was trying to push in and that wasn't the time to do it.
System restored.
I'm hoping one of my allies will just turn around and get me. I'm not a hard get. I'll crawl to over there. Because yeah, that'll be safer. There we go. Shouldn't get me well. Yeah. Because he had a higher chance of going down there.
Assistance.
I'm just gonna fall back outside of the range of that thing, heal back up. And I can be at far range. There's I don't need to be close range. I'm outside of optimal now, but also don't care that much about that. Now there's they're gonna spawn the next wave, but it spawned on the other side, so that's fine. Because yeah, it spawned behind us now. Oh yeah, jammers are really the only thing that sometimes leads to issues. I want to stagger this LMG so he stops harassing my allies. There's the jammer.
System back online. Agent down.
My ally that went down is being gotten, so I'm just gonna push in. Actually, I'm gonna cover there a little bit. Surprising that it's still spawning stuff because we've done the objective. Because it spawned even more. At this point, I'm just gonna guess that room bugged out for some reason and is just going to use up all the spawns that it has available to it, which sometimes happens. Doesn't seem intentional because usually, yeah, with these ones, if we do the objective, usually that spawns the last wave. I now notice that that has changed. I'll see if it's fixable, which should be, and briefly refocus. Yeah, eventually I'm considering adding in some tools to make the video, like the face capture part of it, a little bit more consistent, because yeah, likely I would be interested to see how it, because it might have a cutout timer of 30 minutes. That's what likely happened there, where it auto shuts down after 30 minutes, because that's about the time as well that I last interacted with it. I'm going to kill the backpack on this guy and then just get my ally. He's not a hard revive. There isn't much around me. I can cover him right away after I get up. Yeah, we're gonna keep killing here and hopefully get that damned closer that has been evading me for hilarious amounts of time for everyone. Hilarious for everyone except me. I will. Yeah, at the very least, we'll get some, at least an exotic cache in a few floors, anyway. And that's the nice thing about Guardian isn't going to happen with these people, I feel. Neither of those other two really work. I'm gonna try Armor Adra. At least that's, I'm guessing, how you pronounce it. And but that means that that wasn't the closer chest, right? No, that was just an arm. And that means that I'm trying to not get an armor break for 3 floors, which, barring any huggers or something catching me out, usually I can get it. Briefly gonna check what this message is that I just received, but nothing important, so. Gonna wait for my allies to catch up. Yeah, this is one of those easier rooms. The boss can spawn from several places, but all of the extra waves only spawn from one single door. So I'm gonna kill most of this wave and then make my way to that door. I'm unsure what my allies are waiting on. They're still what they were running. But they'll come eventually. With 3 of us here, I'm already ready to go. Don't wanna... Fighting hyenas. And hyenas, the nice thing is they provide their own CC on their rushers. Just going to watch where the boss spawns, especially because yeah, once this boss spawns, he might be behind me. And then, yeah, the door is very much in front of me. The team is very spread on what they're damaging.
High-risk target approaching.
So the boss is over there. I'm actually gonna Scorpio the boss down because, yeah, I was hoping he was gonna put one of these rushers out. I did it too close to my ally, but also, yeah, I needed those things CC'd anyway. I'm gonna make sure that I pick up memento stacks along the way. Get the bonus stacks from them, get the bonus armor from them, the bonus damage as well.
Serious trauma detected.
I had to fall in a little bit because my shield suddenly went way faster than it normally did. I'm curious to know what hit it there actually. That it suddenly wanted to drop. But yeah, we have these rushers. I will hit their weak points and just, even if it gets me, even with that disorient, I can still be decently well on target. And we're done. I did get the armor break, but that directive is also it's not my intention to do it here. It's mostly going to be the 3 floor section coming up. Just gonna check as well if that's the last 3 floor. Alright, just making sure that that wasn't a closer. It actually popped up there, but I didn't catch it there. Yeah, so especially for brands or named pieces, it's best to go the brand because the thinking is that it's just the 6 items and the named items of that are in that pool. So it's a much smaller pool than chests. And the slots are useful. They have a purpose in for exotics. So if you're going for exotic chests, then those make sense. I'm gonna keep the same directives and head on up with them. That player is coming, and even if we have to, there's no real loot except for that corridor there, and they are already in that corridor, and they're picking it up now. So even if we pull them, we all get a loading screen anyway. Yeah, mostly these named items, especially because it's one that that I'm looking for that has a different miner's color than its core. Just gonna pop that off my ear for a second. That has a different miner color than its core. That means that we have an ambush here. Oh, and it's drones. Oh, actually, one thing we can do as tech tank as well is I'm gonna set that for the next wave. Although we didn't kill this wave fast enough. Well, there wasn't the second one. But yeah, EMP grenades are also a really handy tool against drones. I was going on a rant, but I lost it. Oh yeah, so items have a tendency to drop with miners that are... At least one of the miners is going to have a very high chance of being the same color as the core. So in the case of Usina, it's very likely that at least one of the 2 miner attributes is going to be blue. So when you're looking for a part that, yeah, is going against that, then... and that's something they implemented a long time ago as a way of going against rainbow rolls. But it actually made some of the more unicorn pieces a lot harder to get. We still have secured the area active. So something is alive somewhere. I'm gonna double back. Because this room was also a lot. Okay, there it is. I shouldn't have let him armor break me. I should have just been smart and pulled out my shield. But yeah, I'm playing fast and loose. Which is usually also, yeah, what I enjoy playing as. I don't mind at time playing tactical, but
An agent needs assistance.
talking and playing tactical, playing patiently, and that's like this. It's actually quite hard. It's much easier to play a running gun build than and just bullshit about stuff and run around and shoot stuff. Checking for the keys and corners. That this didn't register that he had taken cover there. But, gonna go for that. You see him right away with it. And with this build, I have decent. I have a weapon that works decently well at mid-range. I have a spotter that also works decently well at mid-range. So when I need to, I can fall back and play it mid-rangey. Gonna help over there. Gonna get out of the way of my ally. I see shots hitting my back of my, or the inside of my shield. So don't want that to happen too much. Gonna go for not the weak point kill on that guy because that would really suck for my ally. And there we go. So that guy is actually one corridor back at this point. Gonna check for the key back here. There's also actually a loot room back here. And these are actually handy to go for. It's a little bit of resources and such. And extra drops. And everything here is skilled, so. I just noticed actually that one of my allies is level 88. That didn't register with me a minute ago. And they're actually well set up for a level 88 to have a Dark Winter, to have a Memento, to have a Hunter's Fury set up in a not stupid way is yeah, props.
Hostage situation nearby.
Gonna start pushing in even though not everyone apparently was ready, but everyone was there, so. Gonna kill that guy because I don't want him to pick up his own shock rounds there. Gonna break this guy's backpack. Or try to. And I really want to be all the way up here. So one of the things is we can have a backspawn. Oh, there. That rusher luckily did not go for me. That could have gone worse. Because yeah, that will kill my shield if I don't put it away right away. What I usually do with those kind of huggers is try to drop my shield and just take it on the body, basically, and then pull out my shield and still have my shield up. Because with a fully charged Memento, you can actually survive the fire. The fire of their explosion. I'll take that mod. I likely won't need it, but I could actually even share it with my low-level player there.
Multiple hostiles inbound.
Player that was hanging way back is suddenly going in as first. I'm not gonna push past here because they spawn from that door and that door, and I don't like being surrounded. Yeah, I don't want to fall too far back. Okay. We don't get extra waves, but if we did, I didn't want to be out of position. Just gonna take a quick sip while we just... And those bottles are just water, but they're colored, but...
Lost one!
It's checking around for the key as we go through it.
Doctor's trying to heal.
I'm gonna push on this right side. I'll ram my mouse into a cable there of my camera and not be able to aim well, but
Can't move from here!
get it fixed. So here they spawn in that room in the back there, so as long as we keep them from... basically we can either use that point as a choke point, or we can push in here and just spawn camp them. I'm gonna go for the spawn camp option. One more key as well for the event. I haven't actually looked at all at any of the event apparel for this one. And that was my exotic cache. One thing I will do actually here, because I have 2 out of 3 floors done with for the armor directive. I'll go one more floor with these people and try to get it. Oh, that was the project. I was confused for a second why I got a pristine example, but that was the exotic project, which is going to give a name that full random. I thought I completed some sort of summit challenge, and those should only give targeted. And when I leave, I will give the leadership to the 5K player, hoping that they know what they're how to matchmake. Also, I'm gonna close my group actually before I forget, just because otherwise, if I leave, then suddenly anybody that's matchmaking just for random stuff is gonna join up on me. And yeah, there are very much that 88 being a little bit too advanced is we have players that are converts, we have players that start second accounts, so converts going from like Xbox or PS5 to PC.
EMP jammer detected nearby.
And also sometimes we have people just going secondary or tertiary accounts. I mean, I'll join that pool as well. I've already decided that somewhere at likely towards the end of this month, I'll start a third account, and hopefully I won't get an intervention. Ooh, that was the armor break that I was hoping to prevent, but I wasn't paying attention, and I took myself down. As you can see as well in the bottom left, I killed myself.
Agent vital signs 0.
And that's an annoying thing. Damages like that, so I bled myself basically, and because it was from myself, my allies are... yeah, let's actually see how So one of the things as well when spectating, one of the things that a lot of people apparently don't know is that, yeah, you can go synced view and you can get their viewpoint. So you can see how they're aiming and stuff. They're falling back quite far. So the smart thing to do here, if I'm going to be backseating a little bit, but he doesn't hear me, so I'll just, just for teaching purposes, is if he would swap to have a hive, to have a hive instead of his
In your group.
second second skill, he could use that to revive someone and then try to basically get it back. But he has an ally here as well already, so you can see how this guy is playing as well. Yeah, Sync View does have a little bit, it's not perfect, it doesn't exactly show, but it does show damage numbers and such as well still. But yeah, for instance, you don't see the armor bars. But you can see, for instance, which players are using scopes, for instance, like here. There we go. They cleared the room. So actually, that reset my my armor challenge as well, because yeah, I did armor break because I died. And the downside as well of dying is that I've lost all my memento stacks. I'll stick with these guys with this free floor section because I would feel like a dick of just leaving right now after sticking around there. And so I'll do 3 floors with them, and then I'll swap off. And likely what I'll do afterwards a little bit is either go farm some more in West Potomac, because yeah, that is still using a Getka as well. So these guys, you can shoot their toes. That's usually the thing to do to them. Although, yeah, that's the model of that tarp on the ground seems to like not actually be a hitbox for some reason, and was making it extra hard to go for the toes. Because the arm is also a valid target, but it's actually quite hard to hit.
Hold you.
That guy got caught in the closet.
Rogue striker drone detected. Hostile striker drone detected. EMP jammer detected nearby.
EMP jammer and drones.
System back
I'm
on.
gonna heal back up here and then push and kill that jammer. Just gonna kill that one. And those two.
System restored. System malfunctioning.
Yeah. I didn't get the kill shot, which is actually annoying because I was hoping to get that.
Medical assistance.
Memento stack. Because yeah, I'm not charged up on the memento, but the objective's gone and just fall to this ally.
Agent down.
They should be able to just kill these 2 drones, I would hope.
An agent needs assistance.
There we go. Because yeah, the should have been the last one. Just briefly gonna check what we got in our ally there. Bellstone isn't really a good choice. with just 1% regen is very low. Oh, they took us into combat already. I couldn't weapon swap to get my armor back. I'll just heal back up that way. There, I got the weak point, so that dog is gonna be asleep for a few seconds. And he's going to disrupt here and get all of them. I should be out of range. Yeah, one of the issues I had in the last room is that I'm not fully charged yet. And that's also in this room can be an issue, but that basically just means that I should not overextend. I'm gonna track this one so it doesn't go too far back. And I am gonna kill it because he's going to kill my allies anyways. They are not looking that way. Yeah, we're just gonna work on this guy.
Moving out.
And at least I charged up quite a bit there to have a lot more charges on my stacks. We're gonna stick to till we reach the chest. Just got the 3-floor section done with them. Yeah, this opening that, like shooting out that door always, yeah, aggroes the next room over. So they'll be aggroed when we move in already. Oh, we have 2 heavies. That's it's actually not something you often see on Summit. At least outside of like the fight rooms. I'm gonna start being a little bit more aggressive as I can now. Although snipers still can hurt, so I'll be sure to put my back against walls and my shield towards towards enemies. Just gonna answer one quick message here. Oh, yes, I did. I'm hoping one of my allies still grabbed it there. Was quite in the open, but likely they didn't, yeah. But I'm also not fast enough to go back for it. On higher floors, there's a ton of loot tied to it, but...
High-risk target approaching. An agent needs assistance.
You got shotguns in the back. Would be funny actually if nobody else grabbed it. I mean, I forgot to grab it as well. I'm just as guilty, but either way, I have my summit cache. But yeah, somebody grabbed it. Luckily. Gonna give the leadership to this 2K player just by making him leader.
Agent is now group leader.
And I'm gonna go GG, see you around, and I'm going to leave group.
We need you to
No, the closer is specifically for the
clear your schedule.
PFE build, but the reason because for the PFE build I could have it be a blue cord one, but I also want to use it optionally with this Gen 3 Red AR. Yeah, the generations of ARs are or red builds are their own thing. I'm actually briefly going to take a second here and because yeah, the camera as well time that as well, because yeah, it seems to be that yeah, every half hour I should at least or change its timeout value. But I'm gonna take a brief minute to change the white balance and get it back on. Oh, I should unmute myself. Yeah, I changed the settings a little bit. It still isn't as I would want it to be, as it's also very much shimmering and nice and glowy with a little bit of this light being quite warm on the face. But yeah, it's a fine setup, fine enough setup to mess around with for now. So I'll hang on to that 5% or whatever it was. It's active regen and see if one of my characters still needs one. We'll actually put it from here into, should be the one that has. I do not remember this in the upper right here. That's quite I'm guessing that I've been in these screens more often. Because yeah, this is actually quite useful. I learned something today. But I wonder if that got added at some point, or if I just no, I've been in those menus many times, so yeah, interesting. It's briefly also going to make sure that the stream health is okay and the bitrate's okay, which seems to be the case. Now pop these caches. I didn't actually check what the exotic there was, but I'll see it in a second here, of course. I don't need an extra G36C, and nor do I need another Bullet King. So yeah, another exotic component done. An attempt at trying to get that damned closer. Put my mic a little bit closer. Just briefly gonna change one thing here. There we go. Check it out. My focus is actually correct, which I hope it is. That looks okay. I've already sorted my inventory. I'm curious to see what they are running. Vanguard, Adrenaline Rush with PFE. A little bit too blue for my tastes. I like them a little bit more red than that. So we have, yeah, using a Getica available here. I'm going to take the Negotiator out to kill a few of that. And we'll just farm the open world a little bit. And that's also pretty good for getting some XP. Yeah, the event is still going on. The apparel cache event. And I wouldn't mind being done with it on this account pretty soon, and then doing a little bit on the other account.
Safe area entered.
And likely as well for after a little bit of farming here. One thing I didn't do as I took the time more to just mess around here, and I'm gonna reset the map, and I'm going to also add in directives. Considering leaving out Fog of War, but I also, yeah, I want the XP, so I will take it. I also actually want to reset the control point because one of them is taken there, so taking that as well. Just changing directive does not cost you your CPs. Also, if you really want to save them as well, you can go to a different map, change your settings there, and it will reset it on that map. So if you're in New York, you can reset the ones there, and then change your difficulties and such even, and come back to New York or to DC. Just a little bit of hydration. And yeah, so this elite territory is there. I'm gonna go after that, hit the CP, go through a ton of the things over there, hit the next CP, and just go through them like that.
Control point nearby.
And let's see, so hi to you as well, Cat. I'm just reading the question as it is there. I'm gonna run to the snitch as well in the meantime.
Got some new contracts, agent.
It's a little bit obscured by OBS. I need to put that away. I know where the computer the sputter and perfect sputter computer to obliterate. And I'm not sure if they beat that. So, I mean, they don't. On flat out values at capped out, they don't. They are indeed just separate multipliers. So sputter is 15% its own multiplier, not additive to anything else, and so just that single multiplier and then multiplicative to everything else. Same for perfect sputter at 20%. And obliterate is of course total weapon damage that is additive to vigilance backpacks, for instance, or any other total weapon damage source that you may have. So on weapon talents, all of those are usually not total weapon damage. The only one that does use total weapon damage is measured. But other talents, especially the backpack talents, are mostly total weapon damage. So they're additive together. So it does give diminishing returns there. But even if you have vigilance and then you consider that obliterate capped out at max 25 stacks is on top of it, that diminishes it to an actual increase of 20%. So that's matching perfect sputter. But what perfect sputter then does is I was confused for a second why I wasn't spotting, but this is of course I'm on a negotiator. I'm no longer pulsing. But, my brain took a second to understand that I was on a different character. But yeah, so a spotter is can be active from the first shot that you fire, and that is what equalizes it quite well. And of course, going spotter, you're basically already most of the way there to going flatline, and flatline is a very good talent. And that's really the reasons why spotter really works well like that. It's basically from the first shot, because yeah, obliterate usually does require, well, first off, it requires you to be going towards crit chance, which for instance, if you're headshot build that sometimes in DZ gets used, red headshot builds, even with ARs, you will not benefit from spotter at all. And yeah, that's really how those two line up like that, is that spotter is theoretically less, but in practice it ends up about the same, because you can go flatline and because it's from the very first shot, it doesn't need to stack up. Because obliterate is of course so much weaker from that first shot. It needs a whole mag before it gets going. Trying to see where that last one is. Yeah, usually you can also, just by using calculator, calculate out the difference. But oftentimes it's difficult to, just on numbers alone, compare two talents that work differently. But then you also have glass, which is even more, and then is from the first shot as well. Like spotter does not require you to have a pulse, so you're not giving up. You're not locking yourself to technician. You're not losing 5 crit chance, which for some type of builds matters. I'm auto running towards that that bounty, but that's not where I'm intending to go. I'm intending to go hit this territory control and then head into that CP. No problem. I always enjoy helping out on calculation stuffs. And yeah, especially if you're used to glass spotter, is a decent alternative.
They got us in this fight.
Because especially going from, depending on what you're pairing glass with, going from glass to spotter and flatline doesn't feel that much weaker. It is weaker, but doesn't feel that much weaker. But neither does obliterate when played well. And then, yeah, the difference between spotter and perfect spotter is very dependent on what the build it already has, for if it matters. Usually they are pretty close to each other, but especially if you're using, for instance, graded weapons, then perfect spotter can usually beat out, for instance, a Fenris with spotter. But if it's competing with something like Seska with spotter, because it's going into a gear set, then usually Seska with spotter usually wins out. But it's, yeah, the tools are available to calculate between the two and see which one. And see which one will work likely better. And seeing as both of the talents are exactly basically in effect the same output, you can basically directly compare between the two and just bet bigger number wins. Trying to see where that guy is going. Oh, okay. Didn't know there was a stairs there. Take the ammo box off of it and kill our friend over here. I'm still not fully charged up on the memento, so I should actually be a little less aggressive and let myself get a little bit higher onto stacks. That elite convoy looks appetizing. Just checking, so yeah, it's True Sons and Black Dust, they won't fight. So I'm gonna head that way and likely go a little bit further north and intercept that convoy separately without... let's make a mess. Messes can be fun. Ah, they've killed one hostage already, so I won't get a bounty off this, which, yeah, is... I would rather get a bounty.
You want to keep breathing?
So that's the convoy, and then that's the... But I can keep all of them to my front. I'm going to make sure that I'm actually engaging the convoy as well. So they don't just... I'm gonna go through here. I'm actually not sure if I... Yeah, okay, this is... Sometimes those places are... you can shoot through them. Ah, sadly the little issue with audio desync is popping back up. I'll fix that right after this fight. Although this fight will take a little bit before we get through it. I'm gonna jump up here. Yeah, the audio desync is very, actually, very disorienting, I find. I don't want that second hostage to die, so I will actually protect him. But yeah, if he dies as well, I won't get any rewards.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Trying to see where they're coming from. So yeah, that's from the hostage or the public execution guys. I'm not sure where the Convoy guys are spawning. But I can put myself between the hostage and everything here. I'm gonna jump up here. Just fall back a little bit more because I'm getting surrounded a little bit. But yeah, sometimes these are the fun fights of just taking on way too much on your plate and just slowly working your way back and running out of ammo. But luckily I have the classic M1A at the ready. Not even have flame rounds in it.
I'm hit again.
There we go. So that's the hostage, and then he's from the convoy, and we still need to do 2 waves of the convoy. That would be nice if this guy would just offer himself up to die. Okay, they're spawning from there. It's easy. Yeah, with the negotiator, I especially want to mark as many things. One is still inside here. Because I want to be close to that door for when the next wave triggers.
Damn! They're hitting us hard!
Just gonna check as well if my voice is also having the same issue, but no, it's only the game. It's weird to fire and then the sound starts several seconds later.
I'm coming for you.
Oh, that's the hostage on the minigun.
Dealing with. Oh no. I'm gonna need you back.
And there we go. Briefly gonna attempt to fix the audio desync. Windows 11's settings are very annoying sometimes still. Okay, it's called sound, it's not called audio. Okay. So see if that fixed it. No, it didn't. I'm gonna restart the game in a second, and that should fix it, hopefully. Because it doesn't appear to be... Seems to be a desync of the game side, actually, as well. I did get both of the missions done. Just gonna check. Yeah, that's quite the delay. So yeah, screen's gonna briefly go black, except for, well, I'll still be there, likely, on the bottom corner. And I'm just gonna reboot up the game, and hopefully that will fix the audio desync. In the meantime, I'm just gonna give a brief answer over there. The game also crashed on exit, it seems. It does not want to close. I will force it to close by ending it. Was also apparently using close to 20 gigabytes of RAM, which I mean, I wasn't using it, but it was allocated. And it'll be back in a second. It's gonna... briefly check as well if the stream health is still okay. Yeah, full screen the game there. Okay, that seems to still be working. That's good. And yeah, the lighting is very much something I need to improve. As yeah, now especially with all of the natural light gone, it's that doesn't look that great. But this was very much a jury rig setup. Me just messing around. That does not appear to have fixed the delay, which is quite annoying. Just gonna make sure that none of the other settings is there. Let's see. Yeah, that's gonna make sure that that is set correctly, and then let's see. See if we now fixed it. Windows 11 settings are very annoying at times. I'm trying to toggle all of the... Okay, there we go. Let's try now. Yay! Only took 10 minutes. By changing the default devices to be something else and then changing it back. Purple gear that could have been decent. So I've lost all my stacks again as well, just by it taking too long. But we'll get them back in. So this line looks very juicy, but I especially want to hit these hit those hostage rescues, and if I can get that warhound to at some point also join the fray, that'll be very nice. So I'm gonna go through here. We might also have a named group over here quite often.
Location nearby.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start from this side so I can hit the public executions. I would rather have the bounties than not. Because yeah, if I do the territory control first, these guys will likely kill some of the hostages. And I should not be this aggressive. I'm not stacked up. And I will actually fall back here. And be smart about it. Yeah, I'm mostly trying to mark as many things and then spread it all around. Just gonna make sure that my mic audio isn't desynced as well, while having changed all of the settings there. That seems okay. So they're likely gonna come from this side. There they are. Just gonna make sure I mark and then execute. Just gonna pick up some charges as well when I can.
Someone give me cover fire.
Easy peasy.
Come on. Let's get out of here. They won't be attacking our settlement now.
Going to grab these memento parts, the memento stacks. From. I'm gonna check where the Warhound is. Okay, so Isaac is recommending I go that way to kill the guys that way. I disagree, and now so likely this will cost me an extra bounty, but that's okay because this will give some loot. Yeah, West Potomac is always really handy to farm.
System disrupted.
Friendly units inbound.
Spawn behind me. Yeah, for moments like this is where the negotiator tech tank is kind of useful. Because I'm marking multiple things and just... I don't have to chase anything because I'll likely have them marked and then just kill something else and just kill them with transference. And when I am in this mode and getting multiple marks going and such, it is outdoing the Heartbreaker tech tank by quite a lot of damage. But of course, it's situational. The second it doesn't have that, the second it can't
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
just flat out have multiple things in front of it, then it isn't. I need to go back inside here and then take a left to reach the other ones. Oh, these guys already despawned. The territory control is likely still there because it's gonna. And the nice thing with this one as well, yeah, it has range, so I don't need to be super close range. It's also going to let me to walk over here because very likely they spawn back here.
Hostiles detected.
Oh no, they spawned here. Because yeah, they really only have two places where they spawn over here, or territory controls at least. One is where they did, the other is underneath that tower.
Access key detected.
Gonna make sure both weapons are reloaded. Not a Henry I'm interested in. Just gonna briefly readjust. Just to not sit in the same position the whole time. I still haven't hit this CP, so let's go do that. Checking for any patrols around here, but hopefully that'll be okay. Gonna restart the camera. Yeah, that seems to be sadly not a setting I can change, it seems. Just gonna make sure it triggers like that, and then yeah, there we go. Because yeah, the auto offsetting is already off. I saw, I checked. But hopefully actually something that Magic Lantern for that camera can alter, which is a custom firmware Canon cameras. I'm a little bit surrounded, so I'm gonna go use this structure to only fight a few enemies at a time. Oh, there's the... sometimes hard to see where you're getting shot from. Just kind of the point of fog of war, of course. That thing needs to not exist anymore. Should finish off this dog especially. Even though it will jam me likely. No. Just get out of range. Because yeah, those are just randoms that joined this fight, and them being dead will not spawn anything else. Whereas of course for all of these True Sons that I kill, like the next wave will spawn. I'm gonna... Oh no, actually... I don't care about the rogues. I'll make it 2 fights. Letting myself get some ammo in between. Because yeah, we already figured out that the rogues are not scaling still. I'm gonna close the distance to that heavy. Because heavies are... These grenade ones are actually quite easy when they... Because if you can force them to do that animation and then kill the backpack and... Gonna use that to CC him before he foams me, but he did still. Yeah, with foam as well, you can just blind fire at your feet and get yourself out. You don't actually need to use that prompt. And yeah, shooting yourself out is a lot easier, but you can't aim, you have to blind fire. It's one of those things that you just need to know. Okay. I'm gonna grab those resources, grab ammo, and then I'll call them in. Yeah, the reason I prefer this negotiator for CPs, especially as I've said several times, is
Detecting additional hostile contact.
it doesn't need to close that range to stack with the ACS. So I can be pretty far. Again, I even mark stuff that is far away, and then this guy is very much in my range, so I can just use him to transfer to the others. And that means that the negotiator doesn't have to chase as much as the hunter or the heartbreaker needs to hunt. He's suppressed. I'm just gonna leave him for a second. Gonna see where the any other enemies spawn, and then yeah, he'll just die to me transferring some to him.
Position.
Hit that, hopefully reach him. Didn't. Neither did those. Don't think I killed that engineer in the end, but actually, maybe I did. Gonna not let him do that. Trying to see where the next enemies are. So I see. Yeah, that's just. I hear them, but I do not. Oh, there they are. I see foam going out. That's weird. Because yeah, they don't spawn like. They don't have a spawn all the way up there or something. So these guys just went very far north before doubling back.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Where are they? Oh, there it is. There we go. And the final wave with the named in tow. And using those gas cans in the world is also quite handy always. Because yeah, I can just shoot that, he'll be on fire and CC'd. No, very few chevrons still. But also getting some field recons for
Supply room access unlocked.
getting my numbers back up there, because I used quite a lot recently, and I still have to use quite a lot as well still, as I haven't optimized up that red Eclipse protocol that is going to go into the collection. Although I want to get some more playtime on it and decide, because having played with it a little bit now, I'm not so sure on which layout for it I want to have. Because I had convinced myself very much that I wanted it to have the EP backpack, the Eclipse Protocol backpack. But actually it doesn't. Vigilance also kind of works. Because while that 30% is very strong and good, it's less active, I feel. So I'm still reworking that one a little bit to and fro. Or at least trying out different variants of it. I'm gonna hit this territory control and then head into there. This bounty I'm just gonna cancel already.
Sure feels like the end of the world.
It's quite funny to see how bad that light is, actually. Because yeah, it is very much just my phone, which is a tiny light, of course. As well, I do have a lot of lighting tools and such. Most of them are for photography, so flash-based ones, which, you know, for video does not work as well. But I'm decently happy actually with the look of the software that is doing the cutting out. It doesn't look as good as an actual Chroma King's setup, but
Incoming hostiles detected.
for the price of basically free, as long as you have the other parts, it's decent.
Access key detected.
They killed one of ours!
Yeah, gonna hit up those other few CPs. And then kind of depends what I feel like doing after, and then we'll go do that as well. Likely maybe a few countdowns. Just having done plenty of other stuff, I wouldn't mind going back there, and it's gonna put the Isaac line, because yeah, actually, yeah, that's a dead end, so yeah, the Isaac line is actually correct. I should go over there. Yep. Hope that guy does not blind me. And yeah, mini tanks hit hard on their minigun, especially when their owner is still alive. They're quite accurate, so I'm just gonna take him out. And down he goes. Oh, they're engaging the CP. Here I'm gonna call in my allies right away, because I want them to not... Usually when you call them in later, they might come up behind some of the enemies. and that can actually be annoying. So I'll call them in. And yeah, when I can make use of the negotiator mechanics, this thing's pretty strong. I mean, negotiator on itself is also just quite strong.
That's a fucking ballistic.
Wait till I find you.
I see a chevron, and my dopamine levels are getting ready to finally get that piece. Feed the addiction. I won't actually look at it yet. Build up the suspense.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Using a grenade.
Gonna mark his friends as well.
Bullets will never get through that.
Oh.
Fuck yeah.
Is yeah, you do have to play it to its strengths. You have to do the marking and stuff.
Can't move.
There's some sort of patrol coming in from the south there as well. Which I might just actually engage. So one thing you can do with negotiator is just I mark those two enemies over there, and they're way outside the optimal, but he isn't. So, and the negotiator transfer doesn't care about
Detecting additional hostile.
what the range of the transfer is. So there's actually some tactics with negotiators and SMGs that kind of work well as well. Basically just poke something far away and then shoot something nearby.
There's nothing true
Ooh,
about you.
got up way too early, so starting to feel it. But it's been a productive day, so can't complain. I mean, I can complain, but I won't. Just gonna use a transfer as much as I can. Actually, also, if I really wanted to min-max here as well, I could actually go grab the. I'm gonna go see what this actually is in the end. Sadly, not usable, and I have better ones already. The setup I do have already in a full red setup. Heard the turrets go down, but don't see it yet.
From the side.
Here's its owner, likely. That's neat. That's not really a good shot, so I could actually relocate and make it a good shot.
I'll try and get around them.
Trying to see where they are spawning.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
There's likely still one more over here, yeah. He's marked, so I'm just gonna run away and use transfer to kill him. It's one of the older tactics that kind of works still, is especially if a grenadier is about to throw a grenade towards you, especially with a high rate of fire weapon, just aim at the hand that is going to throw the grenade. And it doesn't always work, but 1 out of 3 times I would say it works. And you will just snipe the grenade and instantly damage them as well. Same for aiming at the barrel of the M60s when they are, or M62s, of the multi-grenade launchers
Unlocked.
when they're about to unload on you. Just random explosions.
I don't know what to do without you. Thanks again. Thanks again. You really saved me.
Yeah, so the proficiency level of items. So basically, what happens with proficiency is every kill XP. So it's not. It's also just only the kill XPs. They are basically separated out to all the slots. And primary and secondary weapon each receive a share. So does the pistol slot. One thing you can do is if you double, so you can't do that, of course, with exotics, but for instance, with the named, you can have, if you're trying to, for instance, get the cabaret done quickly, you can have cabaret in both slots, and it'll level up twice as fast. It's basically getting twice
Point detected.
the XP twice. And that's also, for instance, the reason why when you do, for instance, some people put 6 slots full with the same brand or gear, and that does work. You do get a little bit more, but you're also hindering yourself in your ability to actually be effective. But the way that kill XP also works is that it's completely shared. It doesn't matter if you get the kill or not, as long as something is dying within your vicinity. So, yeah, that's why. And then they just join countdown with that. Then, because yeah, actually, if you're 6 slotting, if you're, I have actually done that as a for testing purposes. Although with a team that was on board to do it, so it was with
Location. Got it.
wasn't with a matchmade team. And in 2 runs of a countdown back then without the difficulty, so it was just basically a challenging one. Within 2 runs, I had it maxed out. I had taken the system protocol gear set from proficiency 0 to proficiency 10. But it's not recommended. You're gimping yourself quite heavily, and you'll get there as well just doing it normally. I don't want to veer off actually for that, so I'll just go after this CP. Killing some... so I'm avoiding traveling to the safe house, because yeah, the safe house is quite close, but that would cost me all my memento stacks, so... I'll just run there. Also going to check if I actually filled up this character with resources. I did. I've done the weekly requisition for this week, so I don't need to actually stick around here, because this is the area where you go for food. If you need food for the weekly project. Because yeah, with a few cases along the way from the safe houses over there, and then you have 3 cases along the way to there, and then you have all of them there, and that's more than 250 that you would need. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, sure. If you're interested in the I found Hutchlers. You can just search for him on YouTube. His guide to that stuff is actually pretty good. It explains most of the tips, some of the calculations as well and stuff. And he's a well-known speedrunner of the game. And very knowledgeable on those ends, more than me even lately, for going fast on stuff, including expertise. I mostly just ran secondaries here and there. I lost my shield there. And it was just to a grenade, it seemed. Which is surprising. I think there was also a patrol here, likely. Can I just hug there and get that part? I want to push up here and be ready just to capture the next wave as I jump down. It's a bit aggressive, but even if I die, I'll come back and I get to respawn. These guys technically do as well. There's an infinite amount of them. We've killed the population of DC several times over. Just most likely, at least. Gonna use him to CC that guy. Gonna kill everything else. That heavy doesn't scare me that much. So one of the things with heavies is they melees seem to be quite weak against shields. Also, this guy. Hello, sir? 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 He's he's given up on life. It's actually funny. I'm gonna actually use this moment just to inspect him. It's actually I hadn't noticed that like that much skin looks exposed on his back. Because yeah, usually you don't get the chance to look at them like this. I'm gonna actually go into photo mode as well, just. So yeah, that's actually. I don't know why he's bugged out. And he might in a second slap me in the face with a sledgehammer. But also I didn't notice ever before that, yeah, so apparently the sledgehammer in some animations there is going straight to the hand. I saw that for a second there for where it was. So it's not basically rigged to the hand, it's actually a separate rigged item. Gonna grab those two, so a bit more bonus weapon damage, and he also did a nice jump.
CP captured. Good job.
Okay, yeah, I haven't kept up, especially on the streaming end of most other content creators. Yeah, I mean, I feel that, especially, for instance, Destiny, Warframe,
Reinforcements.
Genshin to some in some aspects.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
There's quite a lot of overlap, and players that like one will usually at least be interested in trying out the others. And of course, just MMOs in general. Because while Division isn't truly an MMO in a lot of its ideology, it is. It is an MMO by not by being an MMO, but just with some of its mechanics. And yeah, these outcasts are super handy because, yeah, on defense, you basically always have a few of those rushers. And you just make sure that you hit the rushers and you take out the wave. Yeah, and that guy just had given up on life. He had resigned himself to his fate. But yeah, the actual answer is likely he got stuck probably in some geometry, and he couldn't pathfind out of it. That's also why when he died, he jumped up into the air like that. His model basically got ejected out of whatever geometry he was stuck in.
Used to think I'd live to be an old.
Which, I mean, worked in my favor, so I don't mind.
Supply room access unlocked.
Not often you see an agent around.
So this one is one of the great mysteries of life, and one that I will likely never find the answer to, because it's likely something esoteric. So whenever you do this CP, sometimes it's the upper door, sometimes it's the lower door that leads into the loot room. And I've tried to, in some ways, try to find some consistencies, but I have never been able to. So I'm curious what if at someday somebody will go like, oh yeah, no, that's on Tuesdays it's this one, on Wednesdays is that one. Although I already know it's not tied to the day, but it's just one of those weird things that you know, keeps me up at night. Checking what else is available to kill here. Considering going after that marauder, but chasing marauders is sometimes very annoying. I will actually go after this territory control just because it's nearby. Just gonna check how many, because I'm 8 caches in. Let's make it an even 10, and then I'll consider reconsider what I'm farming.
Civilians in distress.
But yeah, likely I'll do a few countdowns, and that'll be it for me this evening. Which also, we're coming up on the time when the camera usually triggers off. I'm going to just play with its focus for a second, and I should look at that screen. It's difficult to focus with me also interfering with my own lighting. That's annoying. Wait, let me make this big for a second. So yeah, the fidgeting with that for a second. Just making sure that and checking if that that makes it so it doesn't trigger off. Basically, if it's any input. Checking if this guy's named. Yeah, they are. So usually when you have several of these purples, that means that there's a name nearby. Just gonna especially make sure I kill that sniper right away, because snipers hurt. I lost the name in the melee. Okay, there we go. Speaking of snipers, they took me to halfway right away. Because yeah, this named as well when they die. They'll drop a targeted. Named when they die, they always will drop a normal loot and a target loot. Oh, she wasn't, of course, part of this territory control.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
And they spawned from a predictable position. The camera did actually
Access key detected.
still trigger off. Kill this last guy and then fix that. And we should be back. The UI is still on, so I need to turn that off. There we go. Yep. Something's still shooting at me, but I don't see what. Or they're just fighting over there. Yeah, I feel like a few countdowns might be fun. Gonna clean up this character. I'm trying to think which character I want to take into there and which builds I have on which ones. Because yeah, I want to not per se go in with just PFEs the whole time. Just a little bit of variety can be fun. It's making sure that stuff like this isn't suddenly a closer, but yeah, the talent gives it away, of course, as well.
Thanks for
And yeah, that our white whale remains. Gonna pop all these caches as well. It's annoying that you can't just mass pop these, and this should be basically one button press, really.
Agent. Good to be seeing you.
But yeah, they haven't changed it in years, and it's not likely to change anytime soon either. Although they might surprise us. I also never expected them to change the watch point spending, and they did actually add in a menu that you can spend them 50 at a time, even though it's not the infinite amounts that it should be, but it's still better than nothing. I'm just looking what I have on this character, because I'll just stay on this one. Because yeah, I could take a Red Patriot. Could even mess around with a Red Backfire as well. Heartbreaker, Umbras, and PFE Striker. I'll actually will take the Red True Patriot into a challenging countdown to start with.
Invite to another agent's group received.
Should accept that actually.
You are now in a group.
Double checking that. Weird stuff has happened to the bitrate, but seems to have evened out. Just gonna inspect a few of my members in my team just so I know how much damage they will deal, likely. We had a full red striker, blue core striker, and a blue core heartbreaker. So likely not tons of damage, but enough likely to just quickly kill the
Communication
hunter.
relay offline.
Black Tusk has taken the plant.
That lighting is very very harsh. As somebody that is
We need to find a way to relieve the pressure and fix the reactor.
professionally involved in lighting some things, I should fire myself, but I'll take pity on myself as well. I want to have a secondary Scorpio.
Emergency lockdown protocol. 15 minutes lockdown.
Wait, why are they? The one time that they should go right, they are going left. They were going left, and I assumed, oh, they're smart and they are going to link up with the other team, but the other team is here, boys. I'm gonna fall back a little bit and blind fire and
Agent down.
yeah.
System malfunctioning.
I hope they don't cost us 2 hunters, because that would suck. But yeah, they should have just linked up with us on this side. Although actually, the one that... yeah. What are you doing, boys? I hope they didn't cost us a hunter, because yeah, it would have been nicer to just have them all. But we just see here if the loot's on the ground. maybe they dragged them back a little bit, but yeah, no. Could have had all 4, but they cost themselves actually 2 hunters, so they suffer more than the rest, but that was needless. Final is... okay, so we're gonna do turbine, laboratory, and then cooling tower is the main.
Shade tech detected.
Yeah, I'm gonna check up here for the crates. It isn't here. I'm gonna take the long way around here. I should pause as well.
Hostile assault turret detected.
Could use the skills that are on me.
Rogue sniper turret detected.
So it's by the
Sniper turret detected.
stairs over there.
Incinerator turret.
As the other 2 spots were open.
Hostile incinerator turret detected. Rogue striker drone
I'm actually gonna go for it. Pulse as well is up again, so I'll
detected.
3 pieces of gear sets. Get back in here with them.
High-risk target approaching.
Yeah, this Red True Patriot is enough damage to kill with. Although I'm gonna fall back here and heal once more. Seem to have lost all my allies. What I can do is use the Scorpio here to CC and finish these guys off. I mean, that's the reason why the Scorpio is that popular. It's
Area secure.
as long as you're fighting one-on-ones, it's basically guaranteed that you will win. Heard some loot drop. It's over there. Could actually swap my targeted to being using a get again. As yeah, this was still set when I was farming towards the red EP. But all the pieces are in place for that one. I do need to still optimize it. And that build is very much just a test bed build and mess about build. It's not very effective. I found that already.
Minutes to lockdown. Evacuate the facility.
To stabilize cooling system, pressure system purge required.
Several of these names are pretty repetitive, and it's funny to just see them be a jumble like that. That was almost trance-like with the 2 names going over each other.
System breach initiated.
As soon as I get in, I'm gonna pulse. Just gonna kill that mini tank, even though it will likely deconstruct, but killing it will make sure. I'm gonna go for the objective. Even letting this person... oh, shit. They would stagger me out of it otherwise, so let's finish him off. And I'll stay around in it. Wave is spawning over there.
Critical systems exposed.
Yeah, one thing I want to do with the Red Patriot as well is the same as with the,
Data transfer.
as with the ongoing directive I was running this afternoon is more just spray and pray on as many enemies as well, because just putting the debuffs on as many things as possible is the mechanic of it.
Area secure.
But the team is decently well geared towards damage, so we're not having any issues. The short range buff isn't here, but it still feels decently fast, so I am happy. Got the chest as well in the zone, so I'm just gonna head out right away. And yeah, we're just
Agent, you're in. I need you to fix
hopefully going to get our little white whale to drop at some point. And it's most likely the moment I give up on it, it's, when the game will give it to me. It's when you give up and
We need to release the
truly find the zen of not looking for loot is when it will come for you.
Oh, that worked. Ish. Now that the pressure is stabilized, we need to shut
I'm
off
gonna
that steam.
hop onto here. From here, actually, you can hit over those pipes as well. But I'm getting tagged by stuff. I'm gonna actually swap over and start working on this one. And I have more than enough damage to kill those kind of things. Objective's gonna be up there. But first, I will actually help my allies to kill some stuff, because you don't want to be overwhelmed.
Stabilize the pressure.
And yeah. So yeah, from here you can shoot the targets like there. And from here you can, well, somebody killed it already, but you could get the one over there. Now it goes over there. Along the way I'm gonna go for the chests and see which one it is. Actually, I'm gonna look over there. It's not that one. It is this one. And a wave is spawning on my right on top of me, so I need to not be here for too long. Yeah, this is
Stabilize the pressure.
very much what I should be doing, is just pelting everything, getting as many things to have the bonus. Gonna shoot the leg, get him to be disabled. And yeah, if you don't know the weak point on those guys, it's the red balls joint on the legs. That's where you shoot them.
Evacuate.
And if you do, they will fall to the ground, and making it quite easy to kill them.
Stabilize the pressure.
Running into a wall. Yeah, I'm gonna pelt some stuff again, and even if I suppress stuff, I'm not against
Now that's under
that.
control. You just need to vent the remaining steam, and you should be good to go.
My allies will likely push in and kill off most of the stuff.
System stabilized.
Just having the debuffs on them is
High-risk target approaching.
what I'm here for. It's gonna pulse, so my allies see that the named is walking up on them, hopefully. Then I will go and help with that.
Great work, Agent. The power plant is stable. Now get the hell out of there. Shoot off a flare so Torres knows you're ready to go.
Looking around if I see any loot. I don't really, so I'm just gonna actually go for the chest. Extraction is close by because it's already triggered. So it's one of the nearby ones. Yeah, I'll briefly have a look over here. 'Cause, yeah, the one time you don't look, it's the piece that you're after. We've only lost one player. So we should be able to do this pretty easily. They're aggroed already. I'm just gonna wait for my allies. There's no need for me to solo into this. A big blob is a lot more effective than trying to one by one feed ourselves to these guys.
System disrupted.
And yeah, I very much want to get
Get on that helo. You've got
my debuff on as many things as possible, especially the hunters.
Agent down.
I'm gonna be using my hive, or
Assistance needed. Agent incapacitated.
curious what bled us. There's likely
Forward.
just something on the floor. So yeah, what I need to be aware of is I'm weakened, and if I go down again, I will die. And I enjoy not being dead.
Get out of there.
I said that, of course, and then I try to run out, and I get sniped by a target that I hadn't shot for quite a while.
Online.
Spectating, did they fix that ever? Yeah, they did. Yeah, these guys should be able to get at. That sucks for me. I still get the loot. I don't get as many of the coins. And yeah, I made the mistake that I warned myself about, and yeah, that happens from time to time. Although I was expecting to just be able to run through there and get through. It's just that one sniper was still fixated on me.
Pleasure to see you.
So yeah, that was a little bit of the true patriots. I will actually take let's take a red backfire. It's not a good build. It's more of a test bed for that exotic and just messing about with it. The only useful thing that it does have is that it of course has a ton of hazard resist. It's set up.
I've received an invite to another agent's group.
Except that one. Because yeah, it's generally 80%, and then specifically 100 on bleed, of course. I'm running demolitionist as well to get 100 on burn as well. But yeah, so the disrupt on me is going to be a lot shorter. The downside is, with the backfire is I won't be able to have a different exotic as well alongside of it, so I don't have a Scorpio. And it's not going to be very effective against the hunters, really, because I'll stack like 60 stacks, and then the hunters will be dead at that point. There's no reason for them to not be dead. I should not be able to reach more than 100 stacks and them still being alive. Gonna reposition a little bit. Let the old bones not be stuck that much, so I don't
nuclear reactor, but they've triggered the safety protocols.
feel like a very old man when I stand up, but just a little bit of an old man.
We need to shut down the broken transformers and restore the power grid.
I was talking over which faction was
Reactor
we are about to fight here, so.
lockdown protocols activated.
But usually that's it's gonna shoot towards him. Usually they get the point
Instability or overloading
of
grid.
so I'm just gonna try and get the grenade on him. It's a short. It was too short.
Curtailed.
Yeah, I don't want skill.
Rogue striker drone detected.
Okay.
Hostile striker drone detected.
Okay, he's level 32. He's alive.
Forward.
Gonna throw a grenade there, just to stagger, just to basically use it as a animation, force him to roll. And
Immediate medical assistance needed.
yeah, that mortar could kill us all quite easily.
Artillery turret detected.
Oh,
Hostile artillery turret detected.
this will cost us most of the, or well, actually the other two should be in range of us. And yeah, our critical chance was decreased, so that was one of the issues I was having there. I wasn't dealing as much damage as I was expecting.
An agent.
The other one is also pushing into us. I'm gonna just go over here, heal back up,
Serious.
and I'm just gonna wait for backup. I'm just gonna take shots of opportunity because I can't really help my friends, and I'll be taken down as well. And I'm just gonna wait for that poor man that is sneaking up on the other one to deal with these guys. Or to help deal with these guys, at least, I would hope. I can get my allies, but they should be in cover. Like, they shouldn't crawl into the open. And I'll get them up one by one.
System back online.
I will swap to a PFE after this because I get the feeling that this team isn't that strong.
Malfunctioning. System restored.
I don't know why. He can respawn as well, actually. He's full dead. The other one did respawn. I was just opportunistic. I'm just gonna straight up take this time instead of actually doing something useful. Because yeah, that's something they need to learn. And yeah, I will swap to PFE, yeah, because Hive doesn't matter for that one. Because we are likely going to need someone to actually...
The target should be nearby.
I'm confused, very much confused. I'll follow. It's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's fine. For some reason, my AR doesn't have any ammo, which is weird because I haven't used any AR ammo. Shoot and reload. I can't. It's likely. Is that bleed through from the the group leader maybe having the directive, the ammo directive active? I'm gonna go into full objective mode now. Here, of course, that is just killing, but for other places, that's gonna be me running around and getting the objectives.
Let's show 'em how it
Yep. Trying to go for those with the shotgun isn't that easy, but I'll get through them eventually. And I'll run interference here, just to get as much aggro onto me and help that way. Windows options popped up there for some reason. I'm unsure why. Just gonna look over and see that if everything's still working. Yeah. Okay.
Rogue bombardier drone detected. Hostile bombardier drone detected.
And hey to you, Jess. And yes, that is very much agreed. They should know better, but apparently they didn't. Because the dangerous skills came out of that level 32 player, and mortar turret is quite deadly. And actually, that's also the reason that he went down and one of the other allies next to him went down. That's what killed them, actually. At least I'm pretty sure.
Hostile neutralized.
But then, yeah, more skills came out of higher level players. Although actually, I mean, there's only one other player over a K, so they have an excuse. But they have not been told off, and hopefully they listen. Disorient, and you can't loot while disorient, so hang out around here and get it after it goes away. Going to see where this enemy is. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so this is a PFE striker. It is with chest and backpack, just because you need that layout, because you want the PFE or the improvised pieces to be not on the chest or backpack, because those of course already have mods. So yeah, I need to stack to 200, so I really do need to ACS stack and then try to kill him kill him like that. And yeah, the extraction is going to be interesting. It's I'm expecting many skills, but I'll go out of my way. That's also why I swapped to PFE, is because I started as messing about with a backfire build, and that isn't the build that does a ton of damage or has much survivability or is in any way really useful. So I gave up on that idea and just made myself a little more useful. But then I can kill the skills. I can focus on the skills because I'll be safe from the enemies. So at least only half the things then can kill me. And half those things are going to be choices by my allies. Oh, we have warhounds. I will actually shoot out the backpack instead of going for the objective right away. I will actually, shoot off his backpack because that makes him a lot less dangerous. And then I am gonna beeline it for the. I'll also. Oh wow, he's of course immune. I was gonna say I'm just gonna disable that guy, but we're of course actually hunting the warhounds. And there we go. Okay, that player is also actually trying to use the mortar in here, which is a brave choice. That's actually, I mean, there's a case to be made for actually using mortar builds if you can catch spawns in the same way that actually eclipses. When you can catch the spawns when they're all bunched up, it does significant damage, but for every one time that you get to do that and catch them in their spawns, there's a dozen times that you're just aiming at one enemy, and yeah, you would have been better off just shooting them with a red build. Yeah, I mean, at those SHD, yeah, you would hope that they know better, but
Evacuate the facility. 5 minutes to lockdown.
But yeah, I don't fully disagree with some of the assessment that some people have of the first 1,000 levels is the tutorial.
What the hell?
This guy really wants to get away from us. I'm gonna go on this side of his, and hopefully he will run the other way. That was a little bit annoying. I have to chase him all the way.
The turbine now.
This was the second one. Okay, so yeah, we're going to a main. And I feel turbine really comes up a lot. Although, of course, it's just random and sometimes you get... But yeah, I still feel that there does seem to be something to... especially reactor not coming up as much as the final. And it's also likely the shortest, so I'm gonna guess that they maybe finagled something there to make that one less common, because it is easy. Oh yeah, just during extraction, I'm just going to play it very safe. I have the I have the tools to be mid-range and just play it slow and safe, and also the slow walk with varying speed, meaning controller. Because you can press backspace and you'll walk, but it's at a fixed speed. He was walking at several variable speeds, which means
I need you to fix the power
that he's playing on control, which, I mean, I can understand. It's sometimes some players are not as
We need to switch the power.
used to mouse and keyboard, but in just factuality, that means that they'll be a lot less accurate. Controllers, even with auto aim, are not as good as even a decent player with a mouse.
Fault detected with transformers. Safety protocols activated.
You're gonna need to expose the transformers and remove any bugs.
Somebody went for the objective right away, which is nice to see. Oh, kill the backpack before I continue here, because he is dangerous.
Redirect excessive power to stabilize power distribution.
It's gonna be over there, of course. I'm also expecting a lot of every time a shot goes up that half the team will lose most of their armor.
High risk target detected.
And yeah, I'm just 100% in objective mode. We are actually short on time, I noticed. We're not gonna make it. That is interesting. That's been a while. Wait, what? Huh? I don't feel that that we messed up that much in other places in going slow, because we have a minute 30, and I think the last part is on its own just a minute.
High risk target approaching.
You're good to go. Just need to set a new grid. This may take a while.
So actually, yeah, if somebody gets to it really quick, I think we can still make it. Because yeah, I think that is just a flat minute.
Detected. Hostile blinder firefly detected.
And we shall find out here, actually.
Lockdown in 1 minute.
At some point, I do remember us timing many of these. Also, the ones in other zones. I don't want to risk. I'm close by, and he's staying in it. I'll see if he goes away. Because yeah. But I'm curious to maybe look back at the footage and see where we lost that much time.
Stable.
Oh, we still need to secure. Okay, so it's like 30 seconds, 35 seconds, but we still need to secure. Gonna cut it close. We're likely, yeah, we are gonna get it, but
Nice. The plant's secure. Now let's get you out of there. Move to the extraction point.
I don't think I've been in a time crunch in forever.
Fire to signal Torres.
It was actually that was surprising to have that be the case. Or maybe we just lost that much time on the initial fight. But that would have to have been that the initial fight was like 6 minutes or something. The things were also spread out, so we had to travel a lot, but still. Yeah, the surprises of... I'm just happy that I actually did catch it early enough that I could still like make a difference to it. There's already a healing drone still up. The disrupt went out there. I want to kill those two drones. Very much so, even. don't have vision on the hunters. I'm gonna beeline it for that box.
System
I
reactivated.
don't want everything to be overhealed. Although that mission seems to have already failed. I'm gonna cross over, because yeah, this guy's gonna be a hunter. Gonna stack up a little bit at least. Someone's giving a protector as well, so likely there's a protector vanguard, because yeah, there's also a lot of bonus armor from time to time. He at least used this med kit. I can hopefully I have my shield back in a second, because yeah, otherwise he will actually armor break me, but
Needed.
he will die.
System restored.
Gonna heal up. There's no use going in without any armor at all. Chopper's coming in as well. I'm a survivalist. I'm gonna toss a grenade there, toss a grenade here. My grenade placement was horrible actually, but I still made it through. And I'm gonna... Not many skills went out actually. I'm happy with my team. I can't tank them without my shield for that long. This build is 70% PFE, but luckily they put themselves over there. Yeah, that was more hectic than needed to be as well. I have a few seconds before the chopper comes in. And that wasn't that bad. But yeah, they luckily listened, and I didn't even see one hijack happen. So no mortars were from the 2 mortars that were available. Neither of them were deployed. Just gonna see if I can, in this crowd of people, see where that very low-level player is. I might actually go over there and just drop all the names in front of them. But also that'll just take some doing, so I might rather not actually.
Torres inbound on your location. Hold tight. She'll get you home.
I'm actually curious to see what the player with Vanguard is running, and I'm confident that that's something. I'm confident that they'll take care of whatever's in front here. I mean, they're trying. Oh,
Torres is in position.
actually, yeah, it's that time or so. We can likely still get one. Well, not likely. We will get one more chopper out of it. And these guys are escaping a little bit more than you would expect. But we got through it, and actually the extraction wasn't as terrible as as our assault at the start. I'm gonna again
Thanks to you, the locals will have
button over there, except that we seem to have gone through that battery, which I'll actually look how long I've been streaming. Okay, so about 2.5 hours per battery, but I can also get a power break for it. But what I'll do actually while this is going, I'm going to just quickly grab a battery and restart the camera.
Detected.
Swear an oath that means something. No matter what.
And okay, let's see. This should hopefully bring it back. It's gonna point it to be decent and take away those UI points. There we go.
Looking to deal?
Grabbed a lot of names. Hopefully one of them is what I'm after with the closer. But likely also all of those names at the end are just from fully random, so
Glad we got
unlikely as well. Which, yeah, sadly no. I do want to take another crack at that backfire. It's I know it's not a good build and it won't work perfectly, but still want to mess about with it. Just go down the list of builds on this character. So I'm gonna take that one into another challenging, and hopefully this time the team
Invite to another agent's group. Receive.
will not convince me by their actions that I need to change my my loadout. Checking that well, in the meanwhile as well, just quickly gonna check that the focus is while we're loading anyway. It's actually a little bit out of focus. Yeah, I'm of course not using autofocus because that's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. And yeah, I do really need to
Communication relay offline.
get some better lights. But at least those are obvious improvements that can be added.
Cleaners have infiltrated the power plant.
It's usually more annoying when you reach the point where you don't know what to add anymore, but you still
Nuclear reactor.
try a dozen things and half of them make it worse.
We need to find a way to relieve the pressure and fix the reactor's cooling system.
Reactor unstable. Emergency lockdown protocols activated.
Skill-wise, there's likely an eclipse in my group,
Critical pressure levels. To avert
an eclipse in the other group as well.
system purge required.
That is I see one clan name that I instantly very much like, of course.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Gonna grenade them out of the cover. That's not the weapon I was expecting to grab. Yeah. And yeah, the backfire is it's one of those interesting weapons. It's mostly there just for people to clickbait with, really. Because yeah, you can get numbers out of it that are nice and high, and we will get. So the close range buff is going to activate there, and we'll likely get very high numbers out of this weapon. But even without that, you can still get very high numbers out of it, but it's just not practical. It really needs a decay mechanic, more than... I'm just checking why suddenly I was alone from my team. So we only got to have 2 hunters. So we'll only have 6 total. I should have gotten that objective along the way, but yeah, I was also just trying to team up again. I'm trying to see if there was any good way to do it, but people already are running into here. I'm just gonna follow them and not worry about that too much.
System breach initiated.
I'll go for the other terminal. Get his backpack just to... Yeah, this build is pretty damaging. It is. It actually does have its uses if hazard was useful in other places as well, or if it was more of a required thing.
Critical systems exposed.
I shall go up there, yeah, because the chest is likely up here. But also from here I can just shoot. I have a rifle. That's going to be a little bit more effective. Although, still slow going, but faster than anybody went up there.
Data transfer halted. Incoming. High risk hostile.
Yeah, if just the backfire had a decaying mechanic, that could save it a little bit.
Area secure.
But what it has here as well is I am actually flame resistant. I'm completely burn immune just because I'm demolitionist as well. And I'm completely bleed immune, of course, as well. So at least from hazards and stuff, they don't have to deal with them really. Oh, Warhound's in administration, so that's one of the really fast ones. So that's good. It's good to see a lot of low-level players. It's fresh blood coming into the game. So yeah. Yeah, this one, actually I can go through here and be faster. So it's dangerous what I'm doing here, but because I'm not a PFE at the moment, of course. I'm just a full red. I don't even have a blue core. But that at least is going to kill that thing before it actually hurts one of my allies. So it's moments like there where it's hitting for a million plus per shot. Looks looks impressive, but of course, yeah, it's the close range buff. It's not the weapon.
High risk target detected.
I'm considering putting on a pulse as well. I'm a full red build without technician. It's that shield isn't really that useful to it. And I will actually grab a pulse real quick. There's another ally with a pulse. I was holding out on seeing if they are proficient with it, if they are not just level 10 proficiency, but actual gameplay skill proficiency. But they don't seem to be, so I'll add mine into the mix. Yep. I will grab this ammo actually, but could use a little.
Agent, you're in. I need you to fix that cooling tower.
Warning. Steam pressure increasing. System purge required to stabilize pressure.
We need to release the pressure.
Steam summer sale increasing. Pull out your wallet to decrease the pressure. Yeah. Somebody's up there already. I'm gonna stay around here, be ready for the objective. Assuming that Assuming that they hit it, but I'll do it myself.
Limit exceeded. Purge system to stabilize the pressure.
Pressure stabilized. You can cut off that steam.
Backfire as well doesn't have the range for these kinds of things. It is actually MPX, so it does have the optimal for these kinds of things, but optimal doesn't make up for effectiveness fully. Because yeah, the bounce around of the accuracy there.
The steam and you're good to go.
He seems intent on hitting that, so I will leave him to do that, and I'll go for the next objective, which is up here, hitting it right away. This will likely, if this player doesn't get himself safe, he will get downed by just losing health. You're gonna hop on here. I'm actually gonna grab my rifle and just poke at that one. And then this one. And that one I can.
Rogue Mender Seeker Mine detected. Hostile Mender Seeker Mine detected.
So well, their steam is active, of course. We're just taking continuous damage as long as we're in it. But yeah, the way to avoid that is to just go up here for a second and heal back up to
Ish. Now that the pressure is stabilized, we need to shut off that steam.
I don't think at any point that I've really been above 30 stacks or anything. Showing the 30 stacks on the backfire. Showing a little bit of the limitations of it, especially in this game mode. There are some minor places where you can kind of really make it work. Should be able to poke from here.
Agent down.
Great. Now that's under control. You just need to vent the remaining.
Yeah, 2 went down from just being in the steam too long.
High-risk target approaching.
Do I have no.
Cooling system stabilized.
Checking if I had a TDI card custom, so I could use my hive on at least one of them. But also I don't want to give up my hive per se, because we're heading towards extraction in a second, and I might need it myself.
Great work, Agent. The power plant is stable. Now get the hell out of there. Shoot off a flare when you're ready for Torres to bring you
Yes,
home.
he has them. That one has a chevron, so I will go all the way around. No, that was a setup though. No keepers there. Not even gonna look at that one. Extraction is pretty far away. Actually, just gonna double check. Yeah, it's the full north one. So we'll have some travel time before we reach there. I didn't even know you could jump down there. And apparently it's also an out of bounds area because he got reset, it seemed. Just disappeared, but interesting actually. I remember there being out of bounds here as well, that you could jump somewhere over these fences and get into the water over there on the left. But luckily some stuff like that did get fixed. I don't think it even had an advantage really, but it was just because you would get stuck, you had to suicide out and revive. And pulse right before the disrupt hits.
Stay frosty. Hunters incoming.
What these players are doing is a little bit dangerous, which is what I've done a few times now and paid the price for, is that just pushing in solo and getting torn apart just piecemeal instead of us getting together and being one cohesive blob and just killing everything. Let's see if I can get some stacks up, but he has a shotgun and those hurt, turns out.
System curtailed.
I shouldn't have peeked. I was at hit health gate,
Down.
and I shouldn't have stood up there. That's. But here I'll just blind fire. Pulse again. And demo. I'm actually gonna grab that and just make sure that I don't actually accidentally hit myself. But yeah, that if I were to hit, that does actually decent damage. Gonna work on these guys. Let's not let them escape as far. I'm no longer weakened, so I won't die, but I might go down here and don't have a hive. I'm gonna swap off the backfire, which is going to cost me on all the stacks I just built up. I needed something with a bit more effective range. Just gonna grab all this loot while people get them killed. And yeah, once we reach this point, there shouldn't be any more, any real issues. It's enemies coming down in a in a very obvious way and easily killable. At least should be.
Torres is on her way.
So even like here, let me see, I ended up with 80 stacks. And then yeah, it doesn't stay around for long enough for anything else to, for instance, to spawn. So that's usually what kills it. Because yeah, it loses all of its stacks in one go. We'll get one more chopper out of here. Just make sure that that I did actually unmute or mute and then unmute. Gonna grab that whole stack and run away.
Keep working together like that, and we may...
Yeah, if it was on a AR, that having a little bit more range, for instance, to poke with. But yeah, it's mostly just really that stacking to 200 is just not really a viable thing. Like on strikers, we use specifically a weapon to do that with, which helps to stack with. But without that assist,
Good to see you.
it's not really viable. But yeah, it really just needs a decay mechanic, or maybe a reduction to 100 stacks and a rework maybe in how much. So it's not as high of a peak, but a more consistent. Because yeah, that's usually better. Peaks are fine, but unless you actually get to those peaks a lot, it's not that great. I'm gonna hang on to that burnout because I actually think I need a good one, and that one with a recalibration would be a full guard roll with DTOC, because talent is fixed, of course. Just gonna toss it into the stash and then see if I have a different one as well. Which I do. It also just has one recalibration, but this one, yeah, I will actually swap that out. And that's just because then it's the third attribute, not that I would ever pick anything other than damage to targets out of cover, but it'll look cleaner. So This is just basically a cosmetic upgrade. So, and I will actually just briefly give it its recalibration as well, just because otherwise that will never happen. Because yeah, Burnout is a decent weapon. It's a decent enough talent, and especially for newer players, it is, if you get a good one, which isn't hard yet, especially if while you're farming for a FAMAS, then it is a good stopgap until you get a good FAMAS. But it's a lot easier to get with a fixed talent, to have it be easily recalibrated with one recalibration to be a really good weapon. Nah. The game has heard us talk about backfire, and it gives me one more of them. But what it actually gave me is an exotic component.
Agent.
Because I have enough of these. Oh, I was gonna say that's a good drop, but I've accidentally unfavorited my Carbine 7 from from one of my loadouts. That one's close to usable, but isn't really an. I'm not gonna hang on to it. I'm full enough. Yeah, that one. This AR is one of my. Although I don't dislike the Carbine 7, but I don't fully like the Carbine 7. It's not. I don't rate it as highly as I know some of my peers. But yeah, a fully God roll drop with that, because yeah, it doesn't have any optimization at all on it. That one felt good whenever that happened ages ago. So I'm gonna grab a Heartbreaker, which was the next one in line there. Gonna swap this to be an Coyote's Mask, which is how I normally run it. And gonna take this into... actually, I will grab a grade 20 M4, because this is very much a damage build, and also I want to reskin that one, because yeah, I think... I want to see which one is the new one from the season, or I think that's the one that I have on that one already. But then yeah, this one gets to still be Kerman. Yeah, having going up to grade 20 is well worth it for the weapons that you really use. Yeah, we're gonna hop into a challenge encounter, and then yeah, the Heartbreaker in effect is in play style going into this as a red one is going to basically play as a worse striker, but utility wise it's still pulsing a little bit and showing people where enemies are. You have a little bit more survivability with that bonus armor, but it's also not really that great. The only thing the bonus armor will do is whenever you get hit in bonus armor, as long as it doesn't hit your actual armor, the vigilance still stays active. I'm group leader, it turns out. So I should pay attention and start it whenever it fills up. And somebody
Another agent
recognized me.
Line.
We're gonna wait for this one to go from red to green, and then yeah.
Another agent has joined your group.
Because sometimes they still fall out. Just
an exotic. I barely need it. I do construct all of mine to raise
curiously.
speaking.
Okay, he deconstructed all of his exotics and he's getting new ones. Okay, so that's a choice.
Communication relay offline.
Yeah, M4 with flatline. I really like the M4. So my preferences are mostly towards the FAMAS, especially the M4 for flatline. I prefer that one a lot more over the Carbine 7 with flatline. And then I don't mind TKBs at all. the TKB or the Kingbreaker.
Infiltrated the power plant.
And
They triggered a lockdown.
I
I'd rather not have their
often
slaves
also
burn tactics
choose the
against
Mark
the
16
reactor.
for ammo, for especially the tech tanks where ammo is a issue
Comms.
sometimes. Or well, builds that are more geared towards sustain, that aren't high damage, so they just inherently sustain a bit
Emergency
more.
lockdown protocols activated. 15 minutes
Probably reactor
lockdown.
and then turbine.
Trojan virus
Or the opposite.
detected. Safety protocols activated.
Gonna go for the grenade toss. And yeah, they're basically always guaranteed to go, and that saves us at least
System disrupted.
for a few seconds that they will jam us. And here I'm just I wasn't stacking with the ACS because I didn't want to close that distance that much. So I was giving up effectiveness.
Forward. System malfunctioning.
So two of these players have St. Elmo's, so they're not going to have Scorpios because one exotic, of course. Which leads me to maybe... Oh,
You're in. We need to locate
that was a very long animation that the game chose for me there.
Get out, we can kill the thunder.
System back online.
I'm gonna take a second here and... oh,
Another agent is now group leader.
the make leader and mute player are of similar length, and especially if you're reading real quickly, it all looks the same. So we did get 3 hunters on this end. Gonna guess one of these is likely VIP. Oh no, actually doesn't. Where? How did they get in there that fast? And the answer is likely that they skipped some of the hunters. Yeah, Heartbreak is very much one of those builds that if strikers were brought back in line to be in line with most of the other builds, then it could have a place, because then if strikers and Heartbreakers basically did around the same damage, then you could have one be more survivally and the other one be more towards damage.
High value target detected.
And also Heartbreaker leans more towards flatline as Potter style builds, and then Striker more towards Obliterate style. And one thing I pretty strongly feel is that Striker stacks consistently better, faster than... I mean, it does of course have the RPM bonus as well, but quite often I feel that Heartbreaker is missing counting shots basically. So even if you hit, let's say, a full mag on an enemy, Striker seems to basically guarantee that that happens, that you get basically 50 stacks out of it. And it decaying, of course, so it's not that full 50 stacks, but Heartbreaker seems to be less consistent. And Heartbreaker, of course, also Spotter seems to also be a little bit less consistent overall. I'm just gonna follow the pack, see where they go. I would go Turbine, but I don't care either way. Well, I would actually really go Turbine because SHD takes a while in cooling. Oh yeah, and they seem to agree. Yeah, it's just it does, yeah.
Initiate.
There seems to be that it's not counting every stack, and that's likely down to issues with the pulse, basically. I'll go help over there. Because that one's being gotten, and I'll just put myself in here as well, just in case. But it's not a weak build.
System disrupted.
It's just outclassed by Striker. Which is
10 minutes to lockdown. Evacuate the facility.
something fell somewhere.
Critical systems exposed.
Find out in a second. Oh, actually, oh, that was
Eliminate security breach.
That was,
Protocols.
this guy, of course, again.
Shutdown.
Let's see. There we
System
go. And
reactivated.
I should need to reach over and press that button. Let's see if it
Data
gets
transfer
back.
halted. High-risk target approaching. Serious trauma detected.
I'll heal back up. Just don't want to take that risk of going down.
Area secure.
Agent, head to the administration building.
And yeah, at this point, I'm also not playing that great anymore. Because, yeah, tiredness is starting to set in. But, it's still fine. The team is decently okay, even with several really low-level players. I'm trying to remember if I got the crate, but I'll look over here, and if it's not that one, then I likely did, because I would have seen the loot up there. So we're going to admin, so we can actually take this route. My favorite thing to do in Kanta, or actually the entire game,
Agent, reach the administration building.
gliding over the
Comms.
hoods. And there it is actually distance safe, so
Trojan virus detected.
it's even useful.
Safety protocols activated.
I know it's your favorite job. Need you to search the control room and find the server.
I'm gonna go stack on that heavy, and also help save my friend over there who's struggling with it. I'm just gonna pump on the chest, and I am stacked full now.
Initiating safety protocol.
Just need to stack to 100, of course. Someone else is getting the objective over there. I'm gonna actually go around and look for the chest. It's not that one. It's not that one, so yeah, that leaves only one position. Oh. Change of plans. Turns out I'm going to be standing here for a while. Is he... Okay, yeah. They set up there. Oop. Hello, my friend. I'm just gonna wait for him to take off his mask, because it's gonna take about as long anyway. And yeah, just once the mask is off, then you just have to wait the whole animation. It's not when the head is exposed, you have to really wait for it until he basically gets ready to move again. And then yeah, with the exposed head and me having an accurate weapon.
You're a pro. Now, just need you to find another server.
Warning.
I'll go for
Initiating safety
that one, or
Incoming. High-risk hostile.
seems that people noticed that people weren't going for them, and now they are. That wave is inside. Oh. Yeah, if they're getting yeah, they're getting both of them, so that's fine. I'll stay around here just to be ready to get the objective right here when we have it available to us.
Whoever Torres said tech support was boring.
I'm gonna go for the objective first.
Reboot the system.
Warning.
And yeah, everybody went away from the positions. But hopefully they'll see it on the ground again and then... oh, I didn't actually completely start it. But that's also a case because if they are... no. They only started it and then walked out. And
5 minutes to lockdown.
yeah.
Communication systems shut down.
While we're waiting...
Override safety protocols to cancel.
hopefully they do get the lobby as well at some point. I get to stop my silly dance and go link back up. Actually, link back up with the loot first. Those things have a very wide range for their explosions, those RC cars from the snipers. I'm gonna stick around here because likely
System rebooted. Communications restored.
the name will spawn likely from that door in a second and then... or actually... likely... yeah. Oh no, we're done. But then the chest is right here.
Power plant is stable. Now get the hell out of there. When you're ready, send up a flare so Torres can pick you up.
I'm curious if this player is still going, so I'm gonna unmute him, give him a chance. Because yeah, if I keep him muted, he'll, if I see him in the future, he will still be muted as well. Yeah, he still seems at it, but
System
Under?
malfunctioning.
I mean, that should be obvious.
An agent. Heavily armed hostiles detected.
We have extraction there, so I'm gonna take this route because that's a little bit safer.
Down.
System restored.
They're upstairs.
So they seem to have killed one hunter already, the other two are nearby, and that's going to make this a real easy extraction, because we've killed them without them bunching up together in the back there, so... It's going to kill that drone so it doesn't hit an ally. I wish it actually kept... like that there was a counter for how many hunter dog tags you have or something, because that information is easily lost. It's that's getting hacked.
Drone detected. Hostile phaser drone detected.
I'm not a PFE, but so I shouldn't be too aggressive,
Set
but
up a flare when you're ready for Torres to bring you home.
Farm for 1 minute 48 seconds. Farm.
yeah, that's going back on the mute list. There's even if you want to lead, give actual instruction, not just what we're going to do, but why we're doing it. Because otherwise, you're not really helping. Right into the sky.
5
Yeah, we have a very overlit moon.
Heard a noise.
Hold tight. Helo inbound to your location.
Yeah, we'll have one more chopper.
What is it?
Torres is in position.
Because yeah, for instance, there I was aiming, it wasn't spotting them. I went for headshots to force it to use the mechanic. Wait, is he asking the... Oh, no, he was giving it to him. That was asking a low-level player to surrender their St. Elmo's, but
Nice work. You stabilized the power.
he was giving them. Which is kind of him. So he has that going for him.
Safe area entered.
We're gonna check over here. So. Oh, that's the reason the options popped up. Discord, of course, I changed the audio's main device, and that's why Discord popped up.
Good to be seeing you.
And let's see if we... I saw a setup, which is that one. Which, yeah, will not survive.
Thanks.
And yeah, the search continues. I think I have one more in me. That yet. So I will take Umbra, I feel. Then or I might just take a red, this rifle red. Actually, no, I know what I will do, but for that I will actually get this cash done, and I will actually swap to a red FI. Closing the night on the build that
Looking for something?
I'll be working on a build showcase of it tomorrow, based around two variants of it. It's gonna put this character back in their tech tanks and then park them. Oh, no, put that M4 back before I forget to actually put it back. Yes. Do really like the skin we got in this season. Can't do it from there, but that is one good looking skin from the premium track. Yeah. It's a little bit much, but it's also not too much with its gold. So I'm gonna swap characters to the character that has the red FI. And I'll run it as a vigilance, full damage variant. Vigilance, actually not vigilance coyote, because that's not what she has available to her. That's on my other account. But yeah, I'm gonna show it off in a little bit more of a Healy version with Safeguard and BTSU, and then which is like this. But it also can very much be a little more damaging with a Vigilance backpack and a Coyote, preferably, but in this case with a Grupo glove. And
Invite to another agent's group. Received.
gonna accept that and
You have joined.
briefly check if I actually. So we'll have likely 2 caches after as well. Also, just to check, we're 20 keys in, 14 keys left for the apparel event. But yeah, next week we'll have Eva League again as well, and Hollywood, and those will give a bunch of extra levels while going through them. So I'm basically on track for having those pretty quickly. And I usually always save up all my keys and do it all together in one go at the end. Just double checking that I'm not the leader. Curious to see what he has. So not bad for level 7. I mean, it's not good, but it's not bad for a level 7.
Communication relay offline.
Hydrate as well, briefly.
Agent, outcasts have taken over the power plant. Lockdown procedures have been initiated. Last thing we need is a radioactive green poison.
And we have Outcast as a nice and easy faction.
We need to shut down the broken transformers and restore the power grid.
Reactor unstable. Emergency lockdown protocols activated. 15.
And actually, for testing purposes, it's good we didn't get the close range buff, so
Increased probability of instability.
damage-wise, it's not going to be super skewed into the
Agent has gone offline.
numbers that gives us.
Agent has been promoted to group leader.
We lost 1 player already, which isn't great.
Rogue hive detected. Hostile hive detected.
I came from a 7k player,
Medical assistance needed.
which, you know, what can you do about it? Yeah, I did right because, yes, because nobody else had a hive. They already dragged this one? They did. That's weird. Okay. Because I would expect the other loot to be around here somewhere as well. Containment is fine. Although the annoying thing is we should have done containment after, actually. Because we'll be running all the way across to admin likely, and then running back to turbine, which is right here already.
Rogue striker drone detected. Hostile striker drone detected. Rogue sniper turret detected.
Let's be honest.
Hostile sniper turret.
White Death makes that one completely irrelevant.
Assault turret detected.
I'll try to go into the objectives and also help my allies. Put my have down there and just
Hostile incinerator turret.
get him up. So this build very much doesn't really heal. Where the safeguard one can kind of heal,
Incoming. High risk hostile.
this one is mostly leaving players to their own devices of using medkits and such, and I'll here and there assist them a little bit, but
Area secure.
it's mostly the out of combat that is going to heal everybody. Gonna check chest positions. No, we got the chest coming in, which was by the entrance there. Admin makes the most sense indeed. I will go for that loot just to have even more resources. I'd be curious to see how many Usinagetica crafting components I have at this point. But every piece would have given one. I don't craft Usinagetica at all, so it'll be likely all of them are. It'll likely be a much higher number than most of the other brands around it. Concerns me a little bit is, yeah, there's a low-level player with a turret and a drone. Likely means he is maybe a turret drone, an actual turret drone. And those two skills might come into play on extraction. Ooh, sorry. It's getting late, and I did get up early. Gonna wait for him to actually put the special ammo down. I, for some reason, pulled out that chem.
10 minutes to log down. Evacuate the facility.
Redirect excessive power to stabilize.
An agent is back online.
But yeah, in my mind, that was a fire cam, and I was trying to basically eclipse direct impact him. But instead I put a healing hive or a healing cam in the face of an enemy, which it's a little bit treacherous.
Incoming. High risk hostile.
So actually in this mode I would even actually be okay giving up the hive, so in the damage dealing variant. Because the hive isn't doing that much anymore. It's healing a little bit, but it's not enough to be valuable. It tops off people a little bit, but especially here, people are going to get hit way too hard for it to...
Agent, you should be able to access the turbine now.
Look around if there's any loot left. There isn't, and then... And we luckily still have plenty of time to... I mean, not luckily. We did get into one time crunch this evening, but I would not expect the seconds. Challenging countdowns could not be... should not be that hard. Although saying that, we did wipe as well once with extraction.
Agent, you've reached the turbine. I need you to fix the power grid. You're in. We need to switch the power over to the new grid.
So we're coming in from this side. So we can go get that right away. Hopefully I can do this while on fire. If I can. I'm gonna not step in the fire for the second time.
Gonna need to expose the
But
transformers.
stand around in my own camp for a little bit.
Power surge imminent. Follow emergency
Yeah, that healing cam is
accidental electrocution.
What the hell was that?
a lot less than...
Watch your
I'm gonna leave my hive here and just wait for the shock to go through.
Stabilize power.
Hoping that weakens him enough for somebody to get him.
High-risk target approaching.
That heavy's very much interested in me, but I'm very much interested in something else. So his love for me will go unrequited. Nah, that should have killed that entire wave likely. They did still get the objective, which is nice. I'll pump them up. Yeah, it's back left. I will not make it.
High-risk hostile.
Yeah, that's the downside of this cam. Even having that BTSU, a yellow core extra, a little bit of healing extra,
Need to switch over to the new
just,
grid.
makes it so much stronger. Gonna deconstruct that hive because I wanna start building towards a new one, fresh one. Gonna grab this and head for the objective. Yeah, they got out of my range. We'll go on this side. This player is kind of indicating that he's sticking in it. Gonna put my hive down there, hopefully help a little bit on my allies. The other one is a little bit far away.
Facility. 5 minutes to lockdown.
People are standing in the shock.
Grid in danger of failure.
Yeah, I can help a little bit with a little bit of healing, but it's really little. Kind of want to see.
Power
Yeah, that
stable.
initial burst isn't really that
Great
strong.
work, Agent. The power plant is stable. Now get the hell out of there.
For the safeguard one, kind of can one tap.
Send up a
Even
fleet so they can pick you up.
1 or 2 blue cores even, likely. I already have those weapons, so I won't hang on to them. And extraction is nearby, luckily. That would be better if we bunched up a little bit more, but it'll be fine. Let's see if I can help them.
What the?
They took a sniper hit.
System curtailed.
These hunters are pushing out.
Stay frosty. Hunters incoming.
Our left side is very much overran. One thing I'm gonna
System activated.
do here. That booster hive went out again, and they really shouldn't. But even worse, the drone went out. I saw. I feel I saw the defender drone as well. That's not choices
Rogue defender drone.
a player of that level should make.
Hostile defender drone. Detected.
I'm gonna go help over here because, yeah, likely this side is very overrun and someone's trying to put a drone on me. Which I hope they don't actually succeed in doing that. This is getting messy.
Rogue fixer drone. Detected.
Yeah, I'm very much just
Detected.
splitting my attention between both sides, trying to...
Agent down. Neutralize that hunter.
Keep up the pressure.
Rogue striker drone. Detected.
Yeah,
Hostile striker drone. Detected.
I'm gonna see if I can push in here. Flame grenade or disrupt grenade there.
Serious trauma. Detected.
And what's going to kill me is the stuff behind us.
An agent needs assistance.
Yeah, we need to clear out this backside. There's no...
Detected.
And
Hostile assault turret. Detected.
yeah, no.
System disrupted.
Turret and drone went down. Multiple skills went down. It's,
Agent
this
down. Get out of there.
was not meant to be.
Agent down. Neutralize that hunter.
And that's always frustrating. It's you would think, especially. So the turret and drone come from a low-level player. Understandable. A lot of the other skills, not so much. I'll actually turn this one on again.
System restored. You have left the
Gonna
group.
fix that. Yeah.
Safe area entered.
But we did get a few items there. Hopefully something useful in it as well. But sadly, no. We do get we don't get 2 exotic caches because we didn't get a successful extraction, which I was assuming at that point that we would get at least some credits out of that. But we did get 1, and I'm gonna pop that and clean up this character. And that's likely going to be it for me. Because yeah, it is starting to get a little bit later. And yeah, here one thing I could briefly show as well is I will likely, but I'll do that off stream because I don't want to do it on stream. Because does this work? Yes, okay, it should work, right? Yeah. So I have the calculation sheet prepared for tomorrow. This is basically my base one that I copy over and over. That's why usually those builds are always in there. The one with that one, and then starting one with the empty one. I'm gonna fill this one in for the Redify with the safeguard, and then with the and then one with the damaging variant, and then especially going to go compare them with the True Patriot with the ongoing directive, and also going to do basically a mass calculation where I take the number of 8 glass vigilances or 8 striker obliterates, and then compare that with having 8 of those versus having 7 of those with 1 Redify. And I think that'll be interesting. And also in gameplay wise, it'll give me a reason to go into Countdown with a build showcase, which hasn't really been the case yet. So yeah, thank you all for joining me today, and hope you guys enjoyed, even as badly set up as as I almost look like a super red something or blue something, blue-faced person. there with this lighting. But yeah, I'll keep that up, and I think I always enjoy watching streamers that do in fact actually have face cam, because yeah, you can kind of get some of their facial expressions and emotions from their face. So hope that that is a good idea on my part and won't work against me. Hopefully not. Yeah. So thank you all, and have a good night.